It's weird how the smallest thing can blow up your whole life. For me, it was a YouTube video someone sent me, one I almost didn't watch. Me and my wife had been together 7 years, married for 5. No kids. 2 cats. House in the suburbs we worked our asses off to buy. She worked in HR at a mid-sized company downtown. Long hours, annoying coworkers, nothing glamorous but steady. I managed commercial renovations. Long days. Stupid clients. Always someone trying to save a buck at the last minute. Our life wasn't flashy, but it was solid. Or at least it looked that way from the outside. First time I noticed something was off was last fall. She got moodier. Snapped at small things. I'd leave my boots by the door, something she used to joke about, and now she'd bite my head off for it. "You live in a barn?" she'd bark, grabbing them and shoving them in the closet. The jokes dried up. The patience dried up. Pretty soon it felt like I was living with a roommate who barely tolerated me. But that's marriage, right? You ride the rough patches. You push through. Or at least that's what I told myself when she started working late, more often. At first it made sense. Her office was cutting staff. She picked up the slack. She needed to prove her worth, or whatever. I didn't question it. I figured the stress would pass. She stopped asking how my day was. Stopped hugging me when I came home. Stopped doing all the little nothing things that make a marriage feel like more than just splitting bills. Still, I didn't think cheating. Hell, cheating was the last thing on my mind. I figured we just hit a dead patch, like most couples do. We needed time. Patience. Maybe a long weekend away somewhere. But then the little things started stacking up. One night she got home late, wearing different earrings than the ones she left with that morning. When I asked about it, she laughed and said, "Seriously? You're tracking my jewelry now?" Another night she smelled like a different soap, something floral, way stronger than the stuff she kept in the bathroom. She said she'd stopped at the gym to shower. Funny thing was, her gym bag was bone dry. Again, nothing big enough to blow up over. Just small cracks. Hairline fractures you can't unsee once you know they're there. And then came the YouTube thing. Totally random. Buddy of mine sent me a video, said, "Hey, this guy's hilarious. Thought you'd like it." It was some travel vlog. Funny guy. Big energy. Talking about places to visit, stupid tourist traps to avoid. I watched half of it while eating dinner alone. Didn't think anything of it, until halfway through the video, the guy's just panning the crowd at some beach festival. Nothing special. Just people laughing, drinking, walking around. And there, in the corner for like 2 seconds, was a woman who looked just like my wife. Same brown hair. Same black leather jacket she bought last year for her work wardrobe. Laughing. Smiling. Standing way too close to some guy in a ball cap. I froze. Rewound it. Paused it. Stared. It was blurry. It was fast. It could have been someone else. But deep down, my gut twisted into a knot that wouldn't untangle. I showed it to myself again. And again. Same jacket. Same laugh. Same woman. I didn't say anything that night. Hell, I barely slept. Because deep down, I knew if I started pulling at this thread, there was a real good chance the whole damn sweater was gonna come apart. For the next few days, I tried to forget about the video. Tried to tell myself it was just some random woman who looked like her. Tried to laugh it off, like the way you laugh when you hear a weird noise at night you don't want to check. But once you notice a crack, you can't stop seeing it. It started with her car. She used to be messy. Always a coffee cup or an old receipt riding shotgun. Now? Spotless. Like a rental. No junk. No evidence of anything. Almost too clean. I joked about it once, said, "What, you get a detail service I don't know about?" She shrugged. Said she was trying to be more organized. The way she said it, all short and snappy, like I accused her of murder, not tidying up a damn car. Then there were her weekends. Before, she used to hate errands. Getting her to grocery shop or run to the bank was like dragging a kid to the dentist. Now she had sudden plans every Saturday. Errands she couldn't explain. Meetups I wasn't invited to. Family visits that, when I called her mom to say hi, turned out never happened. Small lies. White lies, maybe. But lies all the same. I told myself she was stressed. Maybe embarrassed about not pulling her weight financially. Maybe just needing space. Hell, we've been through ruts before. People change. Jobs burn you out. Sometimes you just need a little breathing room, right? I kept waiting for her to come back to me. For her to look at me across the kitchen table like she used to, like I was still home to her. But it didn't happen. She got colder. Meaner even. Little snipes, little digs. You wouldn't understand, she said once when I asked how work was going. You don't know what it's like to actually have ambition. That one stuck in my chest for days. And I started thinking maybe she was right. Maybe I was just a boring guy she outgrew. Maybe the woman laughing on that beach in the YouTube video wasn't my wife. Maybe the woman sitting across from me every night wasn't either. But I couldn't say anything. Because I didn't have anything. No texts. No receipts. No lipstick stains or strange names on her phone. Just vibes. And you can't build a confrontation on vibes. You just choke on them in the quiet moments, pretending everything's fine. One night, while she was working late, I walked past her side of the closet and noticed a couple dresses I hadn't seen in months. Tight, short, loud colors, stuff she never wore anymore because it was too much effort. Now they were freshly dry cleaned, plastic covers still on. I stared at them for a long time. Tried to tell myself it was normal. People change their minds. Rediscover old clothes. Want to feel good again. It didn't mean anything. But when she came home that night, late again, smelling like some expensive cologne that sure as hell wasn't hers, I felt that knot in my stomach twist even tighter. I didn't ask where she was. Didn't ask about the cologne. I just smiled, handed her the dinner I reheated twice already, and told her I loved her. She said, "Love you too," without even looking at me. Just kept scrolling through her phone. I told myself, this is marriage. You don't give up because it gets quiet. You don't walk away because it gets hard. But sometimes it's not the silence that kills you. It's realizing you're the only one still trying to fill it. Maybe the worst part about suspicion isn't the fear. It's the guilt. I started feeling like the villain for even thinking bad things about her. Like I was betraying her somehow by letting these ugly ideas live in the back of my head. She'd do something small, normal, grab me a coffee on her way home, toss a pair of my socks in the laundry without being asked, and I'd feel like an absolute piece of shit. Because what kind of husband looks at his wife's coffee cup and wonders if it's a bribe for keeping quiet? So I tried to shake it off. Tried hard. I buried myself in work. Took extra shifts. Offered to cover weekend projects just to keep my mind too tired to wander. Every time I got home exhausted, she acted surprised. Like she forgot my schedule. Like she forgot we were supposed to be pulling for the same team. Still, some nights she was sweet again. She'd crawl into bed and press herself against me, whispering tired apologies, telling me she was just overwhelmed, just tired, just needed a little time to get her head straight. And I'd believe her. Because I wanted to. Because believing her was easier than believing the other thing. That the woman I loved, the woman I built a life with, wasn't really here anymore. One night she brought home a bottle of wine. Cheap stuff, pink label, not even the kind she likes. Said she was in the mood for something trashy. We sat on the couch, drank the whole bottle between us. Talked about dumb stuff. TV shows. Stupid internet memes. The neighbor's ugly lawn decorations. It felt normal. More normal than anything had in months. I remember thinking, maybe this is it. Maybe we're just tired. Maybe we just forgot how to be us. We fell asleep on the couch that night, legs tangled up, TV flickering against the walls. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't dream about losing her. I dreamed about next summer, about maybe finally fixing up the backyard, throwing a barbecue, inviting friends over like we used to. But dreams are liars. The next morning, I found a receipt in the trash while I was cleaning up. Nothing crazy, just a small printout from some boutique shop in the next town over. Jewelry store. I wouldn't have thought twice about it except the date was from the night she was supposed to be at that work dinner she canceled on me last minute. She said her boss got sick. Said they rescheduled. Said she spent the evening binge-watching some Netflix show. I held the receipt for a long time. It wasn't anything big. Just a pair of earrings. Nothing fancy, under $100. Could have been a gift for herself. Could have been a gift for someone else. Could have been nothing. But the little voice in my head that had been screaming for months whispered louder than ever. She's not who you think she is anymore. I tossed the receipt back in the trash. Buried it under pizza boxes and crumpled paper towels. Pretended I never saw it. Because I was tired of chasing ghosts. I was tired of being the bad guy. If she was lying, if she was hiding something, I decided it wasn't my job to catch her. It was her job to come clean. And if she didn't? Maybe that told me all I needed to know anyway. That week, things almost felt good again. We had a Friday night where we actually sat outside, cracked a couple beers, and talked like real people. Not about problems. Not about work. Just about stupid things, where we'd move if we won the lottery, what kind of dumb car we'd buy, who we'd cut off first if we got rich and famous overnight. It felt so easy, so natural, that for a few hours I completely forgot about the YouTube video, the car, the cologne, the earrings. I let myself be happy. God, I let myself be stupid. Saturday, she left early for another one of her meetups. Said it was a marketing seminar. Said she'd be back late. I didn't even blink this time. Told her to have fun. Told her I loved her. She smiled, kissed my cheek, and walked out the door with a duffel bag that looked way too heavy for a one-day seminar. I stood at the window and watched her drive away. Wondered if she even knew how easy it would be to fix this. To stay. To choose me. But she didn't. Or she wouldn't. And deep down I knew it. I just didn't want to admit it yet. Later that night, I tried to stay busy. Cleaned the garage. Washed the cars. Fixed the wobbly chair she kept complaining about. Anything to stop my brain from running circles around itself. At some point, I cracked open a beer and flopped onto the couch, flipping through TV channels without really watching anything. That's when my phone buzzed. Text from my buddy. Dude! You're not gonna believe this. Check this out. No explanation. Just a link. A YouTube video. I almost didn't click it. Almost threw my phone across the room just on instinct. But I did. Because of course I did. The video was a dumb, behind the scenes vlog from some influencer event. Same guy from before, that Mike Ray TV dude or whatever. Laughing, making dumb jokes, showing off a party at a bar, a rooftop, some beach shots. Nothing serious. Nothing scandalous. Just drunk 20-somethings living their best lives. I was about to back out when, around the 8-minute mark, the camera swung around during a group selfie. And there she was. Clearer than before. No blur. No mistaking it. Same leather jacket. Same laugh. Standing way too close to a guy I didn't recognize, ball cap backwards, hand low on her back. She wasn't kissing him. Wasn't holding his hand. Wasn't doing anything, technically, wrong. But you know when you know. The way her body leaned toward him. The way his hand didn't hover, it rested on her like it had a right to be there. I sat there, beer forgotten in my hand, heart pounding so hard I could hear it over the video. Still not proof. Still not catching her in the act. But something broke inside me in that moment. That last little piece of me still holding on. That last sliver of hope that maybe, just maybe, I was wrong. I shut the video off. Put my phone face down on the table. And sat there in the silence, wondering what the hell I was supposed to do now. I didn't confront her after seeing that second video. Hell, I barely moved. It wasn't like I had anything real to bring up. No messages. No calls. No photos that caught her mid-kiss. Just a few blurry seconds of footage, a smile that wasn't meant for me, and a guy standing way too close for comfort. That's not evidence. That's a death by paper cuts. And I told myself again, maybe I was wrong. Maybe it was just a moment caught at the wrong angle. Maybe she didn't even know the guy behind her. Maybe she didn't realize how it looked. But doubt once planted doesn't die easy. It grows. Twists around every quiet second. Every cold shoulder. Every night she rolls away from me in bed without even pretending to be tired. She stayed busy the next few days. Late nights at work. Weekend errands that somehow lasted all day. Always a reason, always a story. When she came home, she still kissed my cheek sometimes. Still asked about my day. But it felt like someone going through the motions, checking boxes on a list they don't believe in anymore. One night she came home buzzing. Excited. Laughing at things I wasn't part of. She said she'd had an amazing breakthrough with some colleagues. And that this is going to change everything. I asked what kind of breakthrough. She waved it off. You wouldn't get it, she said, pouring herself a second glass of wine. It's complicated. Complicated. That word stuck. Another brick in the wall she was building between us. A few nights later, I was killing time online, half watching videos while dinner cooled on the table. Click, scroll, click again. Background noise to drown out the silence in the house. One video caught my eye, not because of the title, but because the thumbnail looked familiar. A street scene, some festival, people milling around, holding beers and souvenirs. The kind of thing she used to beg me to go to before she decided our weekends were wasted, staying home. I clicked it without thinking. And halfway through, there she was again. Not posed. Not staged. Just caught laughing, walking alongside a man I didn't recognize. She wasn't holding hands. Wasn't kissing. Just moving too comfortably next to him, too familiar, too easy. He bumped her shoulder, she shoved him back, laughing like it was the most natural thing in the world. The kind of moment you only have with someone you trust. Or someone you want. The camera only caught it for a second before swinging away. But it was enough. Too much, and somehow not enough. That night she came home tired. Dropped her bag by the door, kicked off her shoes, and sighed like she'd been running marathons. I asked if she wanted takeout. She smiled weakly. Said, "You're a lifesaver." I ordered her favorite without thinking. Watched her curl up on the couch, phone glowing in her hand, thumb moving fast. Laughing softly at something I couldn't see. I stared at her across the room. Wondered how many laughs she had left for me. The next weekend she said she had another retreat. This time 2 hours away. Professional development, she said, tossing things into a bag with barely a glance. I asked if I could come along, make it a mini getaway. She looked at me like I'd grown a second head. It's work, she said, all sharp edges. It's not a damn vacation. I apologized. Felt like a child apologizing to a parent. She packed and left the next morning. No kiss goodbye. No hug. Just the sound of tires crunching the gravel as she pulled away. I sat on the porch for a long time afterward, coffee cold in my hand. I didn't go looking for more proof that day. I didn't dig through her things. Didn't track her phone. Didn't call her hotel pretending to be someone else. I just waited. Sat in the house we built together, surrounded by memories she clearly didn't live inside anymore. And somehow, that was worse than any screaming match. Worse than any slammed door or broken dish. Because it wasn't anger. It wasn't passion. It was indifference. And once someone stops caring enough to even hate you, that's when you're really done. Late that night, my phone buzzed. Another friend. Another random video link. No context. Just a simple text. Thought you might want to see this. It was another crowd clip, someone documenting a night market or festival. Same energy. Same chaos. I wasn't even gonna click. But I did. Out of habit. Out of some broken part of me that needed to bleed a little more. There she was. Plain as day this time. No blurs. No tricky angles. Standing at a vendor booth, laughing. A man leaning in too close, whispering something in her ear. She covered her mouth to laugh harder, pushed his chest lightly like they'd been joking all night. Like they were comfortable. Like they belonged to each other. The video kept going. More faces. More noise. More nonsense. But I didn't need to see anything else. The damage was done. And this time, there was no excusing it away. Not work. Not coincidence. Not wrong place, wrong time. No. This was real. She was somewhere else, being someone else, for someone else. And I was just the guy paying the bills while she lived her second life. But I didn't explode. Didn't call her screaming. Didn't show up at the hotel like some psycho with a suitcase full of accusations. No. I sat there. Calm. Cold. Because the best revenge isn't blowing up someone's life. It's letting them think they got away with it, right up until you walk away without looking back. After that last video, there was no coming back. I stared at the paused screen for a long time, burned every stupid little detail into my brain. The way she leaned toward him. The way she laughed like she'd forgotten I even existed. The way his hand slid to the small of her back, casual, natural, like it belonged there. I didn't cry. Didn't rage. Didn't even curse. I just sat there in the dark, letting the truth settle in. It was almost peaceful, honestly. Because for the first time in months, there was no more guessing. No more hoping. No more making excuses for things I had no business forgiving. It was over. I just had to decide how to end it. The next day, I made a few calls. Booked a consultation with a lawyer first thing Monday morning. Gathered up bank statements, mortgage papers, anything with our names on it. I wasn't stupid. I knew divorce was messy, expensive, and cruel. But she'd made her choice. She could lie to me. She could disrespect me. But she wasn't gonna leave with everything we built together without a fight. Not a chance in hell. While she was still at her conference, I cleaned the house. Not a real cleaning, a clearing out. Everything that was mine got boxed up. Clothes, books, tools, gear. Everything that wasn't tied down or tangled up with her. I left all the crap she bought, the trendy lamps, the ugly paintings she said were good investments, the tacky Instagram-worthy kitchenware. I didn't want it. I didn't want her. By the time she got back Sunday night, the house already felt hollow. She didn't notice right away. Came in laughing at something on her phone, didn't even glance around. Dropped her bags by the door, asked what we were doing for dinner like nothing had changed. I told her we should eat in. I had something I wanted to show her. She smirked. "If this is another one of your dumb YouTube videos, I'm gonna scream," she said, pulling off her jacket. Funny she mentioned YouTube. Real funny. I said nothing. Just handed her my tablet and told her to hit play. She rolled her eyes, slumped onto the couch, and tapped the screen. It didn't take long. 2 minutes in, there she was. Clearer than ever. Leaning against that guy, laughing up at him like he hung the goddamn moon. Not a crowd shot. Not a maybe. Not a second-long flash. No. It was her. Undeniable. Unforgivable. Her face changed the second she realized what she was seeing. Color drained from her cheeks. She set the tablet down like it burned. Then she opened her mouth, and I swear to God I could see the lies loading before she even spoke. "It's not what it looks like." Bingo. Exactly what guilty people say when they're caught. I didn't even blink. I slid the divorce papers across the table. Neatly stacked, tabs in place, her copy and mine. Already signed by me. Already filed. Already unstoppable. "I know exactly what it is," I said. She started sputtering. "Excuses? Half-lies? Accusations? You're being crazy. That video doesn't prove anything." I didn't do anything wrong. You're throwing away our marriage over nothing. I let her talk. Let her rant, flail, spin. Because nothing she said mattered anymore. When she ran out of gas, when her voice cracked and her hands shook and her face twisted into something ugly and desperate, I stood up. I deserve better, I said simply. That's all. No screaming. No name-calling. No desperate begging for answers I already knew. She asked where I was going. I said, somewhere you're not. And I walked out. I'd already set it all up. Rental apartment across town, fully furnished, no strings attached. Took the cats. Took my sanity. Left the memories and the mess behind. She called me. Texted. Emailed. All the usual songs and dances. First angry. Then sad. Then sweet. Then furious again. I didn't answer a single one. You don't argue with a ghost. You don't waste breath explaining yourself to someone who stopped hearing you months ago. Final meeting at the lawyer's office was quick. She tried to play nice. Tried to work angles. Wanted the house. Wanted the savings. Her voice got high and fake and syrupy when she said, I think we can work this out fairly, don't you? I smiled. Pulled out the folder of evidence. Printed screenshots. Dates. Times. Photos. Witnesses ready to testify about her little business trips. I laid it all on the table without a word. Her lawyer went pale. She went red. Settlement flipped in my favor within 15 minutes. House. Mine. Savings? Mine. Alimony? Zero. She walked out with her purse and her pride shredded into ribbons. Funny thing is, I don't even feel good about it. It's not satisfying the way movies make it seem. It's just clean. A deep breath after months of drowning. A door slamming shut, echoing down a hallway you're never walking again. People ask me sometimes, close friends who figured out something bad happened, if I miss her. If I miss what we had. And the truth is, I miss who I thought she was. Not who she turned into. Not the woman laughing in someone else's arms while I sat home alone eating microwave dinners. Not the woman who smiled in my face and built another life behind my back. That version of her? No. I don't miss her at all. Now I'm rebuilding. Not rushing. Not chasing. Just breathing. Just living. Just taking it one honest day at a time. And the next time I fall for someone? It won't be someone who makes me guess where I stand. Because loving someone should never feel like solving a crime.